Hey everyone, Trace here. Hey everyone, Trace here. I am back with another fun fold card for the blog design team for Maymay Made It. This is a window pop-up card, so you can see the little faces through the windows here, and then when you open it up, it pops out and you have your image fully in here. So it's super fun and really cute. There's a lot you can do with this. So what you're going to need is 3 pieces of cardstock, and I will show you how to construct that. So I'm using 110-pound cardstock for this because I really want it nice and sturdy, especially the part here that opens and closes multiple times. So I wanted that nice and sturdy. So I went ahead and just used 110 for the whole card. So you'll need 2 sheets of cardstock to make 2 cards. So the first sheet, you're just going to cut it in half, and that will be at 5.5. So that will give you 2 card bases right here. And so I've got those ready. Then next you're going to take another sheet of cardstock, and so you're going to cut it the long way, and you're going to cut that at 3 inches. So just cut that along there, and then you're going to cut that in half, that one strip. So that will leave you 2 pieces of 5.5 by 3. And that will be your folding mechanism part. So there's 2 of those ready to go. And then with the scraps left over from that, you're going to cut 2 pieces that measure 3 1/4 by 4.5. And these are these 2. And you'll have a few scraps left over, and these are great for the images that we're going to put on right here. So you'll definitely use those. So with 2 sheets of cardstock, you're going to get 2 pop-up cards. So let's get started. So the next thing you need to do is do a little bit of scoring on 2 of your pieces. So this will be your card base, and this is the 8.5-inch piece. So on the long side, you're going to score at 4 1/4, and that is for an A2 size card. And I like to score twice just to make it nice and crisp. Then I go ahead and make sure that's nice and evened up. Then I just go ahead and crease that down, making that nice and crisp. And there is your card base. Next, the piece you're going to do is the inner mechanism for the pop-up. With this piece, you're going to score 3 times. So you're going to put it on the long side here. And the first score you're going to do is at 3/4 inch. So right here, go ahead and score. Then the next one is at 1.5. Right there. And the third score is at 4 3/4. So there's your scores. Then you're just going to go ahead and fold those, crease that. Then you have this piece that looks like that. It's a little bit strange. Next, I'm going to open up the card, and I'm going to add some stitch marks. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, my Big Shot. And this die is just stitch marks only. It does not cut the actual cardstock. It's just stitch marks. And that I felt was a really nice touch for the front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. And the inside panel, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add stitch marks along there. And I'm also going to add, this is Brutus Monroe circle stitch dies. And the stitch marks are not going to show because the stitch marks are inside the cut line. So when I cut it, it won't show along the edge. But if you have some that have the stitch marks around the edge, that will look really nice too. So I'm going to position it roughly around here and around here for the circles, and I will be right back. So the next step that I am going to do is the stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of my stamping done at one time. So with the scrap of cardstock that you had left over, I went ahead and stamped out these little girls. And that is from the stamp set God is Fighting for You. And isn't that so cute? And so I'm using the little girls because I'm using this stamp here, this sentiment in the front, which says, God is within her, she will not fail. So I'm using little girls. And then I'm also going to stamp this sentiment on the inside. And so that's where that came from. I'm also using VersaFine ink. So I went ahead and stamped out the little girls here. And I also stamped out some shields. And I am going to stamp out the front sentiment while it is flat here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just inking this up. Getting an awful lot of ink on my block here. But that should be fine. About right here, I want the sentiment. So just press down nicely and lift up. Very good. And then I'm going to stamp the inside one. And I also stamped an extra little girl's head because I like to put the shield behind her, which is like this. And so I'm going to mask that off. And I'll show you how I did that in just a sec. But I'm going to do that. So I need an extra little head, just the head part to mask that. So go ahead and stamp an extra one of those. So I'll finish that up and be right back. So the next thing I'm going to do is do my coloring. So I'm using some Tombow dual brush markers and the blender pen here. So all I'm going to do is, and it's very simple, if you're a little intimidated about coloring or blending, these markers make things really, really simple. So all I'm doing is going around the edge with this color, and it's a dark gray kind of a color. So basically that's all I did for coloring. Then the magic happens with the blender pen. All I'm doing is pulling the color from the sides into the center. It gives you the shadowing and the blending of the color and gives it the lighter color in the center. It's really quite simple. See, it moves those colors all around. Really easy. So I love using these pens. So I'm going to go ahead and color everything here with the girls, and don't forget to also, when the shields are dry, it's going to be a little wet for a few minutes, but when they dry, I'm going to add the word peace in the center, and I'm just going to stamp that right down. So I'm going to go ahead and color that. Be right back. So I finished coloring, and I also fussy cut with my Cutter Bee scissors the little ladies here, so they're all set and the shield is ready to go. Then next I'm going to add some double-sided tape to this mechanism, and you're going to want to put it on the outside flaps, so here and here. So just place that down. In both places. So that's ready to go. Next, you're going to bring your card over and crease that up. And it's very simple how you put the mechanism inside. So the part that has just a one flap, you want to put that on the outside, and the double flap is going to go towards the outer side. So the first flap, go ahead and take off your backing piece there. And you want to bump that right up against the edge. So you want to place it approximately here, making sure that it doesn't interfere with your window as well. So just right along the edge, you're going to just kind of fold it back down, and you can start to see it already wants to flap open. So then take the other back off of the tape, and you want to make sure you fold this part in, and you want to just close your card right down, nice and flat. And as you can see, it folds up and opens up like that. So then next comes the panel that goes on the inside, and that's going to bump right up against it. So we're going to put that right there, but we're going to decorate that first. So before I glued down anything, I wanted to position my little ladies in the windows. So I positioned them where you can't really see what they're holding. And so that's kind of where I wanted them. So what I did was I took a pencil, and around their head, I just kind of made a mark on the paper, as you can see right there, where I want her little head to land. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. I want her to be about there. So everything, like I said, was not glued down. So now I can go ahead and glue it as a flat surface, which will be much easier to work with. So that's where I want her to go, and that's where I want her to go. Now for the shield, I'm just going to place that onto her hand right here. But for the sword, I want to go ahead and add a little glue to her. So I'm going to go ahead and place her down where I have that little mark, so I can put her down right there. Now what I want to do is I want that sword to go behind her. So I have the mask here. I'm just going to mask off her face and add a little piece of tape there. And I think I'm going to add another one down there so I can keep that into place. So then all I did was take some ink, and the shield is already mounted here. So I'm going to make sure I have no ink that will go anywhere else. Because I've worked so hard on this, I do not want to mess it up. Now I want to put the shield about in her hand, though that's not a shield, that is a sword. So about right there, I'm going to ink that. Then remove the mask, and I need to color that. So that now is behind her, which I think is awesome. So I'm going to glue her down, and I'm also going to color this here. And then I will be ready to finish off the card. So the very last step is to just attach the panel. So I'm just going to add a little glue right in this area. Put that cover on. And so I want to make sure they are in the window where I want them before I actually stick it down. That looks good. Now I'm just going to press it all down, making sure it's nice and even up to where it's here. And there you have it, a window pop-up card. And you can do so much with it. Any stamps that you have, it's really quite fun. And I think the recipient will be pretty impressed when they open that up and it just pops out at them. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like, comment, and give this a try. I think you really like it. So until next time, thank you so much. Have a good day.